Hey everyone, it's Brian with Porter Pickups, and I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you for your support in 2020. This has been a crazy year for us here at Porter, and I thought I'd take a minute and just kind of recap the year. So here we are a couple days after Christmas in the year of 2020, and what a year it's been for all of us. What a crazy year it's been for our families, for our businesses, and all of that. And for me, looking back on this year, I've seen a lot of great things that have happened with our business, some really challenging things, some growing pains, some everything all over the map. And I wanted to take a minute and just kind of recap this year, kind of the story of this year, and how we got to this point, how we survived, how we made everything work. And I want to talk about a little bit of the things that we developed over the course of this year and some of the things that we have coming up for next year. So let's start off with January of 2020. That was the NAMM Show. It was our first time exhibiting at the NAMM Show. We spent the last half of 2019 ramping up for it, planning for it. It was a big exhibit for us, taking the plunge to show off our guitars and our pickups as well. That became kind of the focus really for the first part of this whole year. Was how can we get to the NAMM Show? How can we make sure a crate arrives? How can we make sure our crew arrives? How can we make sure that we cover the cost of that? The show went great. We had really positive response to our products. We got to meet some of you and some of our dealers as well. And we had a lot of promise coming out of that show. We had a lot of leads. We had a lot of new things that were in the fire. Usually you pick up a lot of business at the show, which we did. We had a lot of future business plans, and little did we know that things were about to completely blow up in the music industry. But we came out of that show really fired up about our great plans for 2020 and how we were going to do ABCD throughout the rest of the year. Now, flash forward just a little bit after that, about 6 weeks after we got back from the NAMM Show, things started shutting down with the virus issue. We had to work remotely as a shop. We had to, we stayed home and worked customer service stuff from home. We had one person in the shop at a time shift for several weeks as we tried to figure out what was the best combination of staying safe. And our business was essentially called non-essential by our local government, and so we were deemed non-essential, which it was difficult for us because obviously it's kind of essential to feed your family and pay your employees. So we found a way to kind of work with it to kind of move forward and continue to operate. But as March and April kind of started rolling through, we hit a really tough spot in our business. We bottomed out financially. We actually got into a really rough kind of hole, if you will, coming off of NAMM and kind of recovering from the massive expenses that is the NAMM Show. And then we went into this season of everyone kind of froze. Music stores had to close down. A lot of them did. Concerts were being canceled left and right. And some people that had pickups on order, or the people that were planning on ordering soon, even some of our NAMM business deals, everyone just backed out all at once. And that was a kind of a scary time for us as we were sitting here trying to figure out how to make things work. So as we looked at that, we realized that we had some things in our business that we could change, and some things that we changed about production to make ourselves more efficient, to deliver pickups faster, especially with people being stuck at home. They want to work on their guitars. And we really focused on our pickup chooser, which is that form that you can fill out on our website that allows you to choose your options, choose your tones, the preferences that you have, and then one of us emails you back or calls you, says here's the pickup that you want. So we kind of doubled down on just helping people, even though we didn't honestly know the right way to kind of navigate it. There wasn't a game plan for a pandemic. There wasn't just a way to walk through it, honestly, that we had. We couldn't learn from it. There wasn't a playbook for navigating a pandemic. So we tried to move ourselves forward in that sense, and one of our lines of pickups that just came out in the fall of 2020 was the Gatekeeper line of pickups. Now, the Gatekeepers were something that we did a long time ago for Sublime Guitars, and now what we did in 2020 is took the brand back over, redesigned the logo, and we're offering these sets of pickups. So that was a new product that probably wouldn't have existed if it weren't for us sort of being backed into a corner and saying, well, how are we going to move forward as a business? What kind of things we want to offer musicians? So the budget line and the affordable pickups that still sound really good was one of our big pushes. That was something that was really important to us to offer to musicians. Great price. All the sets are $99. You can build even your own loaded pickguard for $179. That became a really big push. And of course, with anything, the product launch took way longer than we thought. So by the time there was an idea in March and April, we didn't actually have a product for release until October. So that took several months of just kind of working through it. Throughout the summer, we got plenty of great emails from customers saying, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" People were supporting us left and right, and it was amazing. We ended up having our best summer ever as a business. And as fall rolled around, we decided to kind of keep pursuing things that inspired us. So part of that was the development of our Spire model. This is a new model that we just kind of finished up the last few here at the end of 2020. It's kind of an offset model. We're still working out some of the design kinks with it, but we're really excited to just kind of keep pursuing on the guitar side of the business, kind of what inspires us and what makes us want to keep building, basically. The guitar business was basically forced to pause during the first part of when the virus was getting, the cases were skyrocketing. We kind of froze a couple parts of the business just to streamline a little bit. But some of the other stuff we changed this summer, again, was that production. Now we have even shorter lead times. We have a ton of stuff in stock. We're really pushing our in-stock list. If you've been on our website, you can see the in-stock pickup list, and that stuff is ready, or it's basically ready for a cover. So very, very quick turnaround times on those. We want to serve musicians that are at home that are wanting to modify their guitars. One of the other things we enjoyed in the summer was, this was actually one of my personal favorite things of this whole year, was our Tonecast. We ramped it up back in June, and we started interviewing people that were going through the pandemic in our industry. Everyone's going through it, but this was specific to our industry. So we interviewed music store owners, we interviewed artists, we interviewed venue managers and venue operations people, and kind of said, "Hey, how are you walking through this? What are you doing to get creative for income? What are you doing to survive?" And I loved the theme of, everyone was basically saying, we need to do this because we love it, and the passion was there, and they were going to make it work no matter what based on that passion. And I think that was the thing that kind of inspired me as I interviewed these people. It became apparent that they were going to grind it out because they didn't want to do anything else, and that inspired me to continue to grow Porter in a way that we would be the same way in terms of just never giving up and always pushing forward. So here we are at the end of 2020, and many people say, I can't wait for this year to be over. And to be honest, there's many parts of this year that I do not want to go through again. But at the same time, I think that this year really helped refine us, and it really helped grow us, and it really helped us get back to the basics of what matters and why we do what we do. We didn't really lose sight of it, but I think that for us it was making sure that was always the priority, that you, the guitarist, is always the priority, that keeping you inspired, that designing pickups that fill a purpose for you as the customer, that became really our mission. And I think that has helped us kind of navigate the really, really, giant ups and downs of this whole year. And as we look into next year, we have all sorts of great stuff coming up for the Gatekeeper line. We have probably half a page or so of new potential model ideas, some crazy custom stuff, as well as just some tweaks on existing models. That's always a pseudo plan, and if anything from last year, we've learned to kind of hold our plans a little loosely. We don't really know how the year is going. We wish we could be going back to the NAMM Show and be going to other shows, but as of right now, obviously that's not in any plans. But we would love to meet you, and we would love to to get our stuff out in front of you as well. So we appreciate your support this last year. What a crazy year it's been, and warm wishes from our shop to all of you who are watching this, and thanks for your support.